Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Kevin Sykes doing another segment of Victory Sundays where I just talk about football, basketball, hockey. You never know what sport I'm going to talk about because you know I love sports. And this is an opportunity for me to get out the most raw and uncut filter version of me. And speaking of Victory Sunday, on some topics that I just want to talk about. The first topic I want to talk about is Puka Nacua. As you all know, if you haven't been living underneath the rock lately, Puka Nacua actually just recently checked himself into a rehab. And he checked himself in the rehab just because like he has been going through a lot of events lately, and it just seemed like he's just trying to get on track, y'all. And while he's just trying to get on track, y'all, there's been some events, like I said, that have been transpiring. Like one of the events that transpired was him when he had the incident at the Super Bowl where they found him drunk. When he had the people just coming into the Rams facility and they're just content creators and they're shooting footage. You're just questioning the referees on Twitter. And then recently they said he was being sued by two females for biting him. And the thing of it is about all those things, because I'm big on mental health, and I actually to go a little bit further to the next topic too, and I'll combine them two a little bit more. But the thing about it though is, y'all, like I seen this on the Speak Easy podcast. I forgot who was speaking at the time, but it said like, yo, get into rehab, like take it serious, like actually like take some time to apply that knowledge and like really try to learn from it, and just don't go there just to go there. Because I could just speak up for myself, like just going sober. Like one of the things I had to do was just dive deep into it, and like really like take the time to understand like why I was getting being under the influence. And I hope the same thing for Puka. And I just hope and encourage that he get himself right. And that's on a positive note. And on another note, Jaden Ivory, if you like I said, been living under the rock lately. Like Jaden Ivory, he done said some wild things on Instagram and social media, is talking about the LGBTQ and just NBA players, and talk about how it's for YouTube guidelines. He was essayed, and it's just like some of the things was a little bit alarming what he was talking about. And it's just that, like, from me and from my personal experience, because I went to a Christian school, I get some of the things he was saying because I've been around folks who have had those same religious beliefs. And I'm not gonna say there's anything wrong about it, but I'm not gonna say like he could have did it in a better way, because we know like people like Reggie White, who, like, if he was in this era, he would have probably faced the same type of ridicule. Actually, like when I seen a documentary of his, he did face some similar ridicules, but not to this nature. And it's just that, like, yo, like, what I just encourage, even Puka, because they both, like I said, they go hand in hand. Like, I just encourage both y'all, like, yo, y'all both seem like really good guys. And it's not, and it's okay. I'm not gonna say it's okay to have all those beliefs, because I think y'all do got some things y'all gotta work on. But what I'm saying is, like, some of that stuff you don't need people to know. Like, sometimes you gotta keep it private. Sometimes you gotta put that phone up. If it's something you can't market, don't don't put it out there. Like, if you got to second guess yourself about putting something out there, don't put it out there. And that goes to any like athlete or anybody else. Like, yo, like, you gotta understand, there comes a lot of repercussions when you put that send button out there, because now the whole world is out there to see it. And even just watch what you say to the people who you talk to in private, is understanding your circle. Because if you if for one, if your people's encourage you to do something that's gonna possibly get you in trouble, they're probably the wrong people. And then two, if they the people that's being sneaky in private, and you gotta look over your shoulder, watch out for those folks, y'all. And so I'm just telling these two guys, because they both seem like, from the most part, what I've heard, and like that's from my experiences, like looking at them, they both seem like pretty good guys, y'all. But they just made some bad decisions, and they need to like correct them, but also understand, yo, keep some of that stuff in private, y'all. Like, don't let the world see it. Like, just keep that stuff in private, because I'm pretty sure they not the only athletes that's doing the stuff that they're doing, but they some of the ones that are allowing it to get out. And like, once you allow that information and all that stuff to get out there, that's when it becomes a little bit too much. And people don't like to look at their own trauma. They like to look at your trauma and just laugh at you and try to criticize you, when they really got their own problems they got to work out on themselves. But on another note, because that actually kind of led down to more of like my Mondays and Wisdom Wednesdays, which you can catch them on Mondays and Wednesdays, but that's just a little bit of advertisement. But this is Victory Sunday. And so on Victory Sunday, I do want to share some good news, even though I got a Georgetown Hoyas jersey on. But what I do want to talk about is, yo, Duke fans, how y'all feel, man? For real, like how y'all feel? 19-point lead. Y'all had the lead, man. Y'all had it. Y'all talked all that shit about North Carolina fans. And I'm somewhat of a North Carolina fan. I'm not a full-time North Carolina fan. I'm more of a Virginia Tech fan. Y'all talked all that shit about North Carolina fans for blowing a 19-point lead to VCU, which they didn't have Caleb Wilson. And I said that before. But y'all talked all that crap about North Carolina, and then y'all took around and messed around and blowing a 19-point lead, and y'all had y'all star freshmen, and y'all had y'all star players, y'all had y'all full lineup, but y'all still lost. And the game was actually pretty boring because I only watched like the first like 15 minutes of the first half, and then I didn't even know the game was going to. I didn't even know UConn was coming back until my homeboy sent me a text to showing me the score, and it was down by like 7, and I still didn't want to watch the game because I was at disbelief. I thought that Duke was going to win the game. And then I turned to it with 2 minutes left on the clock, baby. And it was getting spicy. Free throws getting missed. The ball was getting turned over. Palms got sweaty. And then boom. With only like 11 seconds left on the clock. Turnover. Tip pass. Pass out to... He gets the ball. He dishes back. Shouts out to Braylon Mullins. He gets the ball right back. Damn near from half court. Thought it was a bad shot. Swish. Game is over. I had to text my boy Richie. Shout out to my boy Richie. Matter of fact, I'm going to have to tag you in it. Because he was at the game. And he said it was a long drive home. Matter of fact, he just stayed there in disbelief. And I still haven't checked up on him and asked him to get home safely. But I know when he got home safely, he cried like a baby. So shouts out to Richie and shouts out to all the Duke fans. Because Braylon Mullins, he's going back home. He's going back home to the Final Four in Indiana. And so guess what, Duke fans? Good job. Because y'all talked all that shit. Number one recruiting class, some of the top players. And you still back at we was at square one. No natty. And on my last topic, y'all, that was some. I felt like I was kind of rubbing that shit in, but I think that's gonna make for some good ass content. But on the last note, so like we know, I actually shoot my videos on Fridays, but yo, the Final Four is occurring as we speak and stuff like that. And the game is on Saturday, but like I said, I shoot my videos on Fridays. But who I got winning the national championship. I actually got a national championship hat on for Georgetown, right? My boy AI, but I know he didn't win one. But I got Arizona winning, and the reason why I got Arizona winning is because I feel like their defense is a special unit and their offense is pretty good. But you know, like in those senses, like as long as you got a special unit, I always feel like that allows you to kind of alleviate things. I can't say who's in the national championship because, like I said, I'm shooting my videos on Fridays. But I'm just gonna say I feel like Arizona's gonna win it. I feel like they just been probably like they've been arguably the best team overall for like the whole year, and I just feel like it's just their time. Now I do think I can't say that anyway, but yeah, but I do think like it is gonna be some tough matchups, but I don't know like, the national championship gonna be that tough, but I do think that for the Final Four games epic. But with all that just being said, y'all, this is Kim Sykes, and I'm out this bitch.